your attention, please. We're waiting for the 105-year-old veteran that lives in town. Has arrived, and J.P. Kennedy is bringing him up the stairs. Hopefully. Or the elevator. Anyways, good morning. Whately Grange welcomes you to our abbreviated Memorial Day ceremony. We are short on time, but I can tell you that we spent from 11 o'clock yesterday morning to 4 o'clock at night rearranging everything so everybody had a place in the program. I will say, I don't see Katie Ross. This was the original program, and I can announce that it is dedicated to Jim Ross's memory. And this is what it said on the front page. It is with great honor, respect, and appreciation that Whately Grange dedicates this year's memorial services to the memory of James Ross, USA Air Force, whose tireless efforts are noted not only for his military service, but his service in multiple capacities for the town of Whately. Thank you, Jim. I loved working with him. So, okay. VFW, could you please present the flags, the colors? Please stand while the colors are through.
On this Memorial Day, we pause to reflect upon the blessings that we have as a nation and the high cost of those blessings. We offer prayers and thanks, so let us pray. Loving and merciful God, thank you for those who have given their lives in the service of our country, sacrificing in such a costly way for the sake of others, including all of us gathered here today. Our prayers, too, are with the families who have suffered from these losses. May they know our gratitude for their sacrifice. Thank you for this day set apart, not just for celebration, but for solemn remembrance. Even as we remember those who have given their lives in the past, we also think of those whose lives are on the line today. Protect them, encourage them, and bring them home in safety when it's time. And as we remember, may we leave here today resolved to work for peace and for understanding in this world. May we strive to treat our neighbor with kindness and with compassion. For it is in living for a better world that we truly honor those who have sacrificed so much.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Frontier Band. Oh.
That's me. So it's playing national anthem.
He's going to play the national anthem.
Yeah.
National anthem. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Ross, would you please come forward? In behalf of the Grange and everybody that put forth effort into Memorial Day, set the flowers in there, Jim. The program has been dedicated to Jim. Have a seat. Okay, now that we've got Katie here, other people, I'm pleased. Anyways, we dedicated the program to Katie. I've known her for years, but she was the best nurse Jim had. Okay, so we've done this. Let's go right on to Frontier Regional Band. Are you ready to do another song, or do you want or would you like the speaker to go on? You have to go with the flow today because it's changed. Please sit. Thank you.
If you know the words and would like to sing along, I'm going to be playing America, My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Thank you very much. I'll introduce our speaker is Jane Banish. She's one of our officers in the Grange, and she's going to tell us about nurses during war times.
On June 6, 1944, Allied forces began Operation Overlord, the largest amphibious invasion in military history, by landing on the beaches of Normandy, France, to liberate Western Europe from Nazi occupation. Just 19 days later, on June 25th, the nurses of the U.S. Army and Navy Corps arrived to set up hospital tents. On their very first day at Normandy, the nurses attended to 525 patients in a 400-bed hospital setting. Their sacrifices faced brutal combat conditions with bullets flying nearby. Their presence near the front lines dramatically lowered the mortality rate of American troops. When the war began in December of 1941, only 2,000 active military nurses were on staff. By 1945, just 4 years later, there were 57,000 nurses in the Army Nurse Corps alone. In 1943, the Cadet Nurse Corps was established, which gave women the opportunity for a free nursing education, including room and board, for women aged 17 to 35. However, they had to commit to serve their tour of duty for the duration of the war. Nurses worked often, up to 84 hours each week, tending to the hundreds of wounded in field hospitals, and often gave up their rations for the soldiers. The conditions were horrible. In Anzio, Italy, in 1944, Army nurses dug foxholes outside of their tents while they cared for their patients and while they were dodging German enemy shell fire. When the Philippines fell to the Japanese in 1942, 99 American nurses became prisoners of war. The nurses spent 3 years in prison camps, suffering from starvation and primitive conditions. All the while, they still continued to care for the sick and the injured in internment camps. Over 400 Army nurses lost their lives. The military nurses were a beacon of hope to soldiers and were often called angels in uniform. A nurse by the name of Alice was caring for a young soldier who was shot at Pearl Harbor. He had a bullet lodged in his heart. His name was Dean Darrow. He asked Alice if she would go on a date with him after his surgery to remove the bullet. Feeling very sorry for the soldier, Alice thought Dean would not recover from his wounds, so she said yes. However, Dean did make it through his surgery, had the bullet removed from his heart, and Alice did go on that date. They kept the bullet, they married, and they had 4 children. Dean died in 1991. On September 30th, 2025, Alice Darrow visited Pearl Harbor National Memorial, and she donated the bullet so that visitors from around the world could learn their love story between a wounded soldier and a nurse during a most difficult time with challenging conditions. Alice Darrow is still alive. She is 106. Edie Marks and Diane Evans arrived in Vietnam in January of 1969. They shared a hooch, which is where they lived. They were both from Minnesota. Edie was a city girl and Diane was a farm girl, both in their early 20s, and they were Army nurses. In the last 6 months of their tour of duty near the Cambodian border, one night in their hooch, the camp was hit by rocket fire. Diane crawled into Edie's room. Edie was under the bed, eating peanut butter and crackers. Diane said, "Edie, how can you eat at a time like this?" Edie said, "If I die, I'm not dying hungry." They stayed under the bed together and felt safe. In an insane situation, they waited until the sirens finally stopped blaring. They later went outside and saw that the hooch next to theirs was gone, and only a big black hole was in the ground. They continued on as nurses, helping young men survive. And when Edie and Diane finally returned back home, their memories still haunted them, to what they had lived through and remembering those who they could not save. Many years later, Edie Marks and Diane Evans led the charge to build the Vietnam Women's Memorial, which was dedicated on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. in 1993. In closing, we wish to thank and honor our Whately women veterans, along with all of the men, for their services to our country. We have their names listed on our monument outside. Women who served during World War II: Lucy Crafts, Helen L. Clark, who also served during the Korean War, Regina Pochowski, who served in the U.S. Army from December of 1943 to December of 1945, Carol Delana Sluter, who served as a Navy nurse, who passed May 30th of 2015 at the age of 91, Elizabeth Morawski Orlowski, who worked as a stenographer and a yeoman at the Navy's Bureau of Ordnance from 1942 to 1945, She passed in 2007 at the age of 89. Serving during the Vietnam War was Beverly Chmerowski, and serving during the Global War on Terrorism, Isabel Allen, who is with the U.S. Navy, assigned to the 960th Airborne Aircraft Carrier, the USS Theodore Roosevelt. And thank you all for attending our services to honor all veterans. Enjoy your freedom.
I would like to recognize Walter Rubin. Amy, could you assist him to stand up? He's our 105-year-old veteran. God Bless the USA, Lee Greenwood song.
If tomorrow all the things were gone you worked for all your life and had to start again with just your children and your wife, you thank your lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
I've known Dusty for years. She's also a member of the Guiding Star Range, and she is our lecturer of the County Range. He's wearing sashes from our Grange today. There are two in the audience that are wearing sashes for us and one in the back. Anyways, I would like to thank Ray Belisle, who our phones must have been hooked at the hips yesterday, because we had to go through everything and say, yeah, we can do that later. No, we can't do that, you gotta do this. We are going to have a service at the gravesite and the memorial on Saturday, I think noon, because it's his birthday. And we'll have the salute to the colors and a few other things, laying of the wreaths, which Jane has made. So, and I want to make a pure announcement. I have to thank so many people, and they're all going to get thank you cards. Zach and Bill Smith, and the Juliana select person, and Bill and I, we cleaned the monument area and worked our butts off. But the biggest thing is we had a donation that was given to me, and we will have our own PA system in care of the Grange for next year. I want to ask any of my relatives to help, and my brother, who works very closely with J.D. Ross. My brother and the Thayer Excavating gave me the money for the PA system, and it is going to have a sign on it in memory of Jim Ross. She provided the wheels to go get it, and I went and I said, Bobby, you better know him as Wally. Do you want to come? No. He says, it's too emotional. So, if you didn't know, the Thayer Excavating Company digs the holes and JD plants the houses. So, anyways, that's our honor. But to have our own speaker, we won't have to borrow anybody's. And it's under the care of the Grange. That was a stipulation my brother had. So I want to thank everybody, I mean the police department, the fire department, everybody in the Historical Society. We couldn't do it alone. It's a community effort, and this is a large community service that the Grange has always done for the last 25 years. Then you had rain. So I'm sitting there with thoughts at the church, and I says, they're Jim's tears. He's not here today. So that concludes our program. I hope that everybody could say a piece to those people that have passed. I have several. And go on today with the idea that you did put some memory into those who served our country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.